just curious, because this is the first of 3, if now you're spoiled and you expect it come next Christmas that you might hear this again next February.
I have no expectations about hearing it next year. The 3 films are quite different. I suspect there's a certain novelty value this year round. The second film is a little grittier, so I don't know if it's going to have the sort of same repercussions. But I mean, it's still, I'm working on it at the moment. It's still shaping up to be a really excellent film in its own right.
200 in the back. 63, you'll be next.
Robert Lusetich from the Australian. Straight ahead. What is your personal view on this sort of newfound discovery of Australian and New Zealand filmmaking by the mainstream, the Hollywood mainstream, and what do you attribute it to, and where is it going to take us?
I don't think it's so newfound. It's you know, there've been Australians that have been turning up at the Oscars on and off over a lengthy period of time. I'm the third Australian. Well, actually, there's sort of contention about Robert Krasker, but Dean Semler and Johnny Seal have both won Oscars in the last 10 years. And I think that it's probably the biggest impact that's happening in Australia at the moment is that there's a lot of American productions coming down, which is having a bit of an impact on local, the indigenous filmmaking. But I think that it's, I think to a certain extent, it's always going to be the project by itself. I mean, like the current flock of people that are attending the Oscars and have been nominated is because of Baz Luhrmann and because of Peter Jackson.
Question 63 in the middle here.
Congratulations. It was announced just as you were running up on stage that you had hesitated, and having gone to Catholic school for 12 years, Franciscan brothers always drummed Latin into our heads, and one of the old Latin phrases was, "He who hesitates is last." In this case, he who hesitates seems to be first, but one of the reasons you hesitated was the enormity of the books. And I guess I'd ask sort of a two-part question. One, what ultimately made you decide to give it a go? And two, what was different, I mean, compared with other normal productions, if there is such a thing? What about Lord of the Rings was completely different for you in the filming of it, in the photography?
I think the principal reason for taking the project is that I'm always basically searching for a quality script and closely followed by a quality director. I don't care what sort of story it is, I don't care what sort of genre it is, but I am interested in trying to work on films that actually have something to say. So I'd read Lord of the Rings when I was a child, and it was I think that it was really just a matter of meeting Peter Jackson. And as far as what was different about it, it was just that I never recommend anybody to undertake a trilogy from this point on.
Do we have another question down front? 146, please. Thank you.
In a movie who combines locations, sets, with digital locations, how is the creative process for you when designing the cinematography for the movie?
Designing the cinematography for the movie, for me, is always basically serving the drama. The priority is to understand what a scene is saying. I never look at designing anything based on the parameters of what we have to work with. So, I basically always try to find the subtext in a scene, to find out what the scene is saying, what are we trying to tell, and then from that point on, I design the photography, and then from that point on, we work out how we're going to do it.